Hey friends, welcome back. Gotta say, we've read a lot of stories. We've read a lot of chapters in chapter books. This might be one of the weirdest chapters, at least by title, we've ever read. We are on page 168, chapter 7, The Boy Who Ate Dog Food. The next Friday afternoon, Henry and Ribsy were walking home from school. They were going the long way past the Rose City Bike and Trike Shop, so Henry could look at what he had come to think of as his bicycle. The one in the window, the one with the racy red frame and the built-in headlight. The only thing wrong with it was the price. $75. It was exactly what Henry wanted, and he looked at it every time he had a chance. After making sure his bike was still in the shop, Henry moved on. He was still trying to think of something he could do in the Rose Festival parade. Across the street from the supermarket, he stopped to look at the new colossal market building that had just been finished. It covered a whole city block, and Henry had heard that the market would sell not only meats, groceries, and medicine, but would also have a gas station, an ice cream shop, a florist stand, a beauty shop, a hardware store, and almost anything else you could think of. Today, there was a huge sign across the front of the building. Henry stopped to read it. The sign said, "Tonight, grand opening, modern one-stop shopping, deluxe new colossal market, now ready to serve you. 25 free door prizes, free samples, free flowers for the ladies, free balloons for the kiddos, entertainment." Jeepers, thought Henry. That's a lot of free stuff. He decided to ask his mom and dad to go. It was fun to get free samples, and his mom might like one of the flowers. Henry was still trying to think of a good idea for the parade when he and his mother and father joined the crowd of people visiting the new market that evening. Beezus was with them because her mom had to stay home to put Ramona to bed. Henry had given Ribsy a big bone for dinner so he would stay in the yard and chew on that. If dogs had to stay out of the supermarket, they would certainly have to stay out of the colossal market. In front of the colossal market, 6 big searchlights sent giant fingers of light up into the nighttime sky. Henry saw Robert and Scooter talking to the men who ran the gas generators. As Henry and his dad and mom and Beezus entered the market, someone handed each of them a ticket for the door prize. After they had written their names on the tickets and dropped them into a barrel, a girl in a fluffy blue skirt gave Mr. Huggins a package of razor blades. Another girl in a fluffy red skirt gave Mrs. Huggins a gardenia flower, while a clown offered Henry and Beezus balloons. Beezus asked if she couldn't count as a lady and get a flower instead of a balloon. When the girl handed her the flower, she took it, closed her eyes, and breathed deeply. "Smell it, Henry," she said. "Did you ever smell anything so beautiful in your whole life as a fresh gardenia?" Henry gave it a sniff quickly. "It's all right," he said, tying the string of his balloon to the button on his hat. When he put the hat back on his head, he hung onto it with one hand till he was sure the balloon wouldn't carry it away. After agreeing to meet his mom and dad by the front door at 8:30, Henry said, "Come on, Beezus, let's go find some free samples." Sniffing her gardenia, Beezus followed Henry, who had to stop before long and untangle his balloon from the buttons of a lady's coat. Then they got free samples of donuts, hot from a donut machine, and looked over the largest selection of comic books they had ever seen. They tasted frozen orange juice and decided to pass up a free sample of dehydrated vegetable soup in order to watch a man demonstrate a gadget that would cut a rose shape out of a beet or a turnip. Then they paused at the colossal beauty shop to watch a lady get a free facial. Henry thought she looked funny with her hair wrapped in a towel and greasy stuff smeared on her face. As he caught a glimpse of himself in a mirror, he decided he might wear a balloon in his hat in the parade. Look! Beezus grabbed Henry's arm and pointed to the platform where the three girls from a dancing school had been tap dancing. The drawing for the door prizes is starting. That's the Rose Festival Queen and her princesses. As the crowd pressed toward the platform, the Master of Ceremonies announced that the owner of the first ticket the Queen pulled from the barrel would receive, absolutely free of charge, one brand new white wall tire from the colossal gas station. Maybe you'll win, said Beezus. Henry wasn't sure his dad needed one white tire, since all his others were black, so he wasn't disappointed when his name was not called. He soon lost interest in the door prizes, because there were so many grown-ups in front of him that he couldn't see what was happening. Come on, Beezus, he said. I bet this is a good time to get free samples. There's probably not a lot of lines because everybody's hanging out to see who wins the prizes. They found Robert and Scooter hanging out in front of the donut machine. This is my third free sample, said Scooter. Come on, let's see what else we can find. They tasted ketchup, potato chips, jam, and cheese. Soon the pockets of Henry's jeans bulged with sample boxes and bottles of Oatsy cereal, Glit soap, and 3-minute Whisket rice. Then they came to a display of Woofy's dog food. The man standing behind the table handed the children pamphlets that explained how Woofy's made dogs woof with joy because it was made of lean red meat fortified with vitamins. Aren't you giving away samples? Asked Henry, thinking about Ribsy. No, I'm not, answered the man, and then added jokingly, but I'll give you a whole can if you'll taste it. No thanks, said Henry. Hey, go on, Henry, taste it, said Robert. I bet you're afraid to, scoffed Scooter. I am not either, said Henry. I'm just not hungry. Ha! Scooter was scornful. I dare you to eat it. Darers go first, said Henry. Only scaredy cats say that, answered Scooter. Other kids who were also collecting free samples gathered around to listen to the argument. Go on, eat it, someone said. I bet it isn't so bad. Hey, gang, the kid yelled. This kid's going to eat some dog food. I am not, said Henry, but no one paid any attention. The Woofy's man borrowed a can opener from another booth. Jeepers, thought Henry. How did I get into this mess? The man clamped the can opener onto the can. Henry looked around for a way out of this, but so many kids were crowded around he didn't see how he could escape. He wondered how Woofy's tasted. Maybe it wasn't so bad. Ribsy ate it. If Henry really did eat it, he'd be pointed out at school as the boy who ate dog food. At least then he'd be pretty important. Henry, whispered Beezus. Henry, don't eat it. Henry watched the can opener chew its way around the can. Ugh, he thought. He didn't want to be the boy who ate dog food, no matter how much it impressed the kids. The man lifted the lid from the can. Henry looked looked at the food made from lean red meat fortified with vitamins. At least it isn't raw, he thought, and wished something would happen. Something did happen. The voice of the master of ceremonies blared out over the loudspeaker. Henry Huggins! The people around the platform laughed. Hey, that's me! Exclaimed Henry, bewildered. Why are all the people laughing? Will Mr. Huggins please come to the platform to claim his prize? Asked the master of ceremony. Oh, thought Henry. The man meant his father. His father was Mr. Huggins, but it must be a mistake, because his father's first name wasn't Henry. Is Henry Huggins present? Asked the MC. Henry, wake up, said Beezus. You won a prize. Henry looked at the can of dog food. Here! He yelled as loud as he could, and the crowd made way for him. Whew, that was close, he thought. He was so glad to get away from the Woofies. He didn't care what his prize was. It's probably a basket of groceries or something. And that's where I'm going to stop. And tomorrow we will find out what prize Henry Huggins won and what prize saved him from having to eat dog food. All right. See ya.